Yes, and Queen's Park Rangers should be able to relax soon, but just look how difficult it's going to be for Luton to get out of that bottom three, along with Newcastle and West Ham, who at least have games in hand. But Luton, of course, with different priorities this afternoon. They've got 45 minutes, possibly a little bit longer, to win the Littlewoods Cup. They lead Nottingham Forest by 1-0 at half-time here at Wembley. Mick Harford, the goal scorer. Join us soon.
Played here against Everton. Still, of course, an FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool coming up at Hillsborough. Plenty on their plate at the moment, and certainly plenty on their plate now to try and overcome a confident Luton Town side in this second half. There's Nigel Clough straight into Steve Foster and getting a free kick. Forest behind here then, but they've lost only 2 of their last 23. A fabulous run of form. Finding Luton a very, very difficult obstacle indeed to overcome. GAYNOR. For Nottingham Forest in the red shirts, Brian Laws. CLOUGH. Got the ball through to GAYNOR. The cross coming in, Chapman there. Oh, it just needed a flick and he couldn't quite provide it, and Parker came in fast on the far post. Forest so close to getting back into it then. Parker to Pearce to Webb. Little chip by him. Pearce had gone on, and they get a corner. A brighter start by Nottingham Forest, David Pleat.
Yes, I think Mr. Clough will have generated some words in the dressing room, and they've got to push on. They've really got to go for it. Hodge and Webb, I expect to get forward even more. Harford coming back doing some useful work. Laws. Stopped by Beaumont. Wilson. There's Black. What do you feel his line would have been actually at half-time, David? Well, I think they've got to go and try and win the ball earlier. When Luton are dictating the pace of the game from the back, Forest are allowing them just to play the ball around, and this will give them extra confidence, particularly with being 1 goal in front. I think Forest will just have to come out a little bit more and chase the game and try and win the ball earlier.
The chasing there by Lee Chapman has cost them a free kick. Foster's gone right forward for it. So there are 3 6-footers from Luton now on the edge of that Nottingham Forest penalty area. Harford, Wegley and Foster. Priest lining up behind it, but before he's taken it, claiming that Clough is not 10 yards off the ball. And the referee's decided diplomatically to get Clough to go back 1 more yard. Up they go. It was Pearce's header, Kingsley Black turning it back for the goal kick. Luton Town having beaten Burnley, Leeds, Manchester City, Southampton, and some absolute thrillers they had against Southampton in the quarter-finals, West Ham in the semi-final. Clough, Priest going in there, Beaumont, quick, tidy player, David Beaumont. Harford. Wilson, turning well and beating Pearce. Wegley. Very active and always available. A bit of space here now again for Danny Wilson. A little chip by him and Wegley's gone in after it. Wilson was there. Oh, and Harford! And in the end it's Laws who got it away almost off the line. Terry Wilson again not quite sure where he was and missed his footing after a good thrust in the first place by Wegley, and suddenly Harford was in there. For a moment it feared the goal was at his mercy again. Well, let's have a look at the corner, and then maybe we'll have a look at that moment when we've seen what happens here. Different sort of corner, and not a very profitable one there by Ricky Hill. Here's Clough. That's a good ball. Now Webb. And Chapman's away beyond the last man if he can time his pass. GAYNOR's here too, but Luton are getting back in strength. And Forest missed a good opportunity there. One of their players is down injured on the far side. Terry Wilson taking it up though. Neil Webb, a turn by him. Lee Chapman, just over. Nigel Clough is injured. Well, openings at both ends there, David.
Yeah, the game's certainly up the gear. I must say I was most impressed with Wegley's contribution in that move of Luton's, where Laws just saved Forrest's bacon.
That was the Chapman shot, and then at the other end of the one you were just talking about, Danny Wilson with the cross.
Yeah, Wegley made an excellent run after being involved in the build-up, and then as it deceived Wilson, it looked as though Harford was a certainty.
And Brian Laws getting in and doing the necessary. Nigel Clough's okay.
As with most games, Brian, second halves tend to get a little bit quicker.
Got a green and a white balloon on the pitch as well. The ball belted away there by Les Seeley. GAYNOR. Just got the impression that Forrest may have upped the pace a little bit in this second half. GAYNOR to Laws, to Chapman, up to Tommy GAYNOR. Lee Chapman with it. GAYNOR once more. Now Laws playing it early, but a poor one straight to Beaumont. There's his long ball. Looking for Wegley. Walker's there with him. But Wegley did well. Play on, said the referee. Ricky Hill in possession now for Luton. And now for Priest. Given straight at the keeper. Hodge. To Clough. To Webb. There's a good ball now, but GAYNOR will not keep it in play. Webb obviously saw and has played that sort of ball for the electric pace of Franz Carr. But Carr's injured and on the bench, and Tommy GAYNOR couldn't quite reach it. Try as he might. Grimes. Walker versus Wegley. Here's Hill. Chapman. Don't think that will go for Webb. Intercepted by Beaumont. Laws. Hodge. Touch for Neil Webb. Chapman. 2, 4, 6, 7 whack shots are back. As GAYNOR takes it on again. The cross there towards Lee Chapman.
It's going to be awfully hard work for the midfield players as the game goes on, because at the moment there's wide open spaces and it's a game of attack and counter-attack.
Keeping the game moving well is Roger Milford. Webb. Webb again. Maybe at half-time Mr. Clough suggested he should impose himself a little more on the game. He's certainly got the skills, and here's Hodge. That's going to be a penalty. Seeley brings him down, and Forrest gets a reprieve from the penalty spot. Nigel Clough will take it. He in fact scored from the spot against Luton in February against Les Seeley.
I can't help feeling that Seeley will be disappointed with that.
Well, let's just see whether he'll be disappointed with this as well. It's 1-1. There'll be a father sitting on the bench for Nottingham Forest who'll be greatly relieved by that. So the red and white flags have come out, and the banners with them. The inflatables too, and Forest are back in business. Nigel Clough's 18th goal of the season and his 5th from the penalty spot. they've really got a game. And Luton have been playing so well. As you say, they'll be disappointed to have conceded that penalty. You feel that maybe there was a question mark against the penalty decision?
I think no. I think it was a penalty, but I think Sealy rushed, came too quickly. Should have stood his ground a little bit. It was going quickly. Hodgie was going really away from the goal and wide.
Now Webb, and again he holds his head in his hand, but Tommy Gaynor is struggling manfully up. Up this right touchline, which in fact is a little soggier than anywhere else on the field. I don't think it gets quite the same sunlight that the rest of the stadium gets. And it cuts up just that little bit more. There's about a 4 or 5 yard area down this near touchline. And that's where Gaynor is patrolling at the moment. A nice back heel by Harford. The referee had a good look at that. I noticed as he was running, and Sealy had made his challenge, and he didn't really have any doubts at all. Grimes.
To be fair, Brian, I think the referee looked to the linesman, who didn't hesitate. He was very quick to put his flag across his chest, which signals a penalty. But I just feel Les Sealy could have held his ground, and I'm absolutely sure that Les realised straight away that he'd made an error.
Clough for Forest. Goes Foster. Now Black.
It's a great test of Luton's character now. They could easily go into their shells and think, oh no, we've done so much and we were in front, and all of a sudden it started to go against us, particularly after Harford had that narrow incident just after half-time when they might have put the game beyond Forest's reach.
Hodge. Stopped by Danny Wilson. Harford's touch to Wegley. The two main strikers now up for Luton Town, and Wegley full of pace and running, and so too was Des Walker. Harford is calling for it, and in fact got it. And again there were two Forest defenders, both big men. Tommy Gaynor had gone back as well with Terry Wilson, but still Harford beat him in the air. Breaker. Parker. Chapman. Don't think it'll get to Clough. Challenge by Bowman was severe but fair. Now Black is down injured with the challenge with Lee Chapman. Wilson. Foster. Wilson. Challenge there between Pearce and Breaker. Pearce, if anything, looked to me as though he was going in with his feet high, but it he who came off second best. David?
Well, he's a very abrasive challenger, is Pearce, and I've often thought that sometimes he goes to ground rather easily in attempts to win the ball. But he's got great drive and he's got great personality, and he really leads from the front, as it were, although he plays from the back.
All right, here's the free kick. Danny Wilson with it. Foster's gone forward for this one, but Law's got the header. Ricky Hill now trying to volley it back. Got some interesting pictures for you in a moment. We'll show you the Nottingham Forest penalty and a reaction of Brian Clough, the father of the man who scored it, which I think you might find quite interesting. In a moment, when we've got time, we'll show you. So I'm led to believe Ashley Grimes. comes to Harford's. That's where it is, a little bit stickier down this touchline. The game is flowing so quickly, it's hard to get these sort of pictures in for you. Ricky Hill battling away. Wegley fouled there by Steve Hodge. Hodge brought down for the penalty. One of the few times he got into those forward positions that he likes to make. Now let's just see what Luton can do here. They've got 5 in the wall for Nottingham Forest. And you've got Grimes, or rather, yes, Grimes behind it, Wilson and Priest. It's Wilson, but it's too high, it's a goal kick. All right, here's how Nigel Clough scored from the penalty spot against Les Sealy. It made him look easy. And the reaction from the Forest bench, his father wasn't really looking. Certainly wasn't going to smile about it, was he?
I think sometimes, Brian, the outward calm belies an inside really uptight, you know. He's an amazing man, of course.
Foster winning it well. Parker and Breaker. I'm really impressed by Luton this afternoon. They certainly look anything but a side that is struggling against relegation. The bottom 3, but they'll tell you they've got, of the 6 games they've got left, 4 of them are at home, and they feel that if they can just get a few things together, they'll be saving themselves. Parker. Pearce. Going towards Gaynor. Taken nicely on his body. Good work there by Tommy Gaynor. Hodge coming in, wins a good header. He won't want to lose at Wembley. I think, was he in your Tottenham side, David? He was, wasn't he, when you lost to Coventry City here?
He certainly was. Happy Harry. He loves Nottingham. He's settled back in field for Forest rather than being wide on the line. He's quick, he's energetic, and he's always got a goal in his locker. And as the game's developing now, his energy will be vital.
Good tracking back there by Nigel Clough. And a foul that time by Laws on Kingsley Black, who's really suffering. He fell foul of Lee Chapman just a couple of minutes ago. So Luton's free kick. Trace will be taking it. Somebody on the field with the Union Jack. Game goes on. It comes to Danny Wilson. Now for Priest again. And he's certainly not getting any publicity from us. It's a Luton Town throw.
It was lovely to see Nigel Clough make that challenge, Brian, when you said how well he did to get back and chase and win the ball. In actual fact, he glides around with an economy of effort. He makes very few challenges. He's one of these sensible players who plays with his head and doesn't make unnecessary runs.
Well, it's a corner now for Luton Town. Taken quickly. Ricky Hill. Play towards Foster. Here's Priest. Going back again by him. It's Stuart Pearce who got it away. Webb half slipped there. Couldn't get it back again. Black finding Foster. And then Laws in turn will get it back to Stevenson. Luton's problem lately has been scoring goals, as I was saying, since they got through the semi-final, where they've not won in 7. In those 7 games, they've only scored 4 goals, but conceded 16. Well, this man who scored 1 for them today The score still standing at 1-1 with 20 minutes of the second half gone. We do get extra time today, and if it's level at the end of extra time, then we get a replay at Villa Park on Wednesday night. Here's Stuart Pearce. To Clough. To Webb. And now to GAYNOR. Chapman's waiting. Might come for Parker. His shot charged down by Priest. That looked ominous for Luton when GAYNOR got that position, and there's no doubt about it, Chapman hurls himself towards the near post. He gets to that 6-yard box so quickly. Well, they've got a corner, Forest. Parker with it. Played short for Pearce. Driven by him off Ricky Hill for a throw to Forest. Webb. Oh, Hodge. Seeley grabbing that one well. Just get the feeling also, David, that Neil Webb's beginning to enjoy his game a little more in the second half and coming that much more into it.
Yes, he was very slow in the first half to get the pace of the game. But I feel at the moment they must keep the momentum, Forest. They've got the status quo back now, they've got level, and it's very important that they keep going at Luton.
Clough, half stopped by Foster, who lost his boot. Breaker. Walker away. Little cushion header by Wilson. And there's the other Wilson, Terry Wilson.
It's fascinating, isn't it, Brian, how Forest can play this game without having to resort to offside. Every time Luton play a ball over the top and Wegle is running, Walker tracks him, no intention of raising his hand and claiming offside and disturbing the flow of the game. It's lovely the way Forest keep the game going.
At 67 minutes of this Littlewoods Cup final gone. Foul by Walker on Harford as they both leapt for that high ball. Walker claiming possibly that Harford backed into him and jumped into him, but the linesman was flagging and the referee agreed. Luton get the free kick. Ricky Hill playing it short for Tim Breaker. It's Neil Webb getting it away to Forest. Back. Stopped by Clough. Won by him. Chapman now to GAYNOR. Plenty of red shirts forward, and Neil Webb is further forward than any of them. There's Webb. A brilliant goal for Forest, and that's 2-1. Well, Neil Webb had a few things to say to Tommy GAYNOR because he passed out to him so often and Tommy hadn't been able to gather the ball. That was a superlative ball in by GAYNOR, and good, quick thinking and clever skills from Neil Webb.
It was a superb ball. GAYNOR's kept the shape all afternoon. He's found difficulty getting past Grimes, but he's kept the shape, and whilst he's been out there, there's always a chance of that ball. But I did feel it was a very close decision there, and they've got the benefit of the linesman's flag.
Forest then leading by 2-1.
Foster was certainly claiming offside, I believe.